Hi, I'm Juhber, and welcome back to the NSG server. Last week, we installed a super sorting system and did some major work on our base. If you haven't seen that video yet, you should go check it out. This week, I'm going to create all the infrastructure required to produce every color dye, and also build a shop to sell it out of. But first, I'd like to tell you the story of the deadliest base on the NSG server. If you can't tell, I haven't exactly made my base easy to navigate. This is more from laziness than design. Recently, the base claimed its latest victim, me. But no big deal. I'm sure my reflexes are good enough to clutch block this hay bale so I can go grab my stuff. I'm sure my reflexes are good. I'm sure this went on for a bit. Finally, I managed it, but not before learning an important lesson about hubris. JK, I got all my stuff back. I'm the best Minecraft player in the world. Okay, so quick lesson on dye in Minecraft. There are 16 different colors of dye, which are made from various different materials. Quick aside, you can technically get dye from wandering traders, but I'm not an insane person, so that's not going to be a method I talk about today. If you wanted to use the least amount of base ingredients possible, you would need to produce black, white, blue, yellow, red, green, and brown dyes. I will be producing a few more base ingredients because honestly they're easier to produce than doing the extra steps while crafting them because this is whack, yo. There are various methods to produce most of the dyes, but I have decided to make 4 new farms to complement the 3 existing farms that I already have. I have my bone farm for white dye, my swamp flower farm for light blue dye, and my cornflower farm for blue dye. So I need to make a squid farm, a cactus farm, a cocoa farm, and a nifty device I'm naming the flower quad, which makes use of all of the double tall flowers. Without getting any more into the weeds, these farms will produce all of these items, and that will allow me to make all of the dyes. Out of honestly nothing other than a huge aversion to looking at the terrifying spreadsheet that showed me all the materials I needed to collect for these projects, I began excavating the area for my cactus farm. I decided to make it in my base, so if I want to use cactus later for XP, it'll be conveniently located. Somewhere in the middle of all this, Minion fell into a giant hole in the nether, so I went to assist. Antics ensued. Back in my base, I hollowed out a giant cave for my cactus farm with the help of a beacon. I subscribe to the philosophy of measure once, cut several times. Continuing my procrastination through productivity, I traveled to the biggest eco-disaster I've caused in this Minecraft world to see if we could make it just a little bit worse. And then I searched through my storage to see what materials I had on hand before I had to tackle the dreaded spreadsheet. And finally, I had to face the music, the spreadsheet, in all of its horrible glory. Obligatory sand gathering. Man, what a naive Steve I was back then, thinking that 2 shulkers of sand was going to be enough for this project. I am super scared I'm going to drop my sword every time I repair my tools now. I received a message from GoonerWinner. Does he still play on this server? As I was on my way to fulfill this episode's obligatory gravel gathering. Happy for the distraction, I went to go see what he wanted.
What's happening?
Trying to be clever.
No, that scares me. Oh my god. That was slick. Hello, Juhber, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you doing?
You might be wondering why I called you over here. Oh, you were e-pearling. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's like Christmas. Okay. Well, I'm now going to use this ender pearl because we need to go over here. Can you just stand here, please?
This seems a little,
Look, go on. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So.
Sorry, I
Wait, where did you go? This isn't going to plan. You just meant. Alright, come down here. So.
Ooh. Ow, okay.
No. Now you might be wondering what this secret underground layer is, Juhber.
Hold on, my ears are on fire.
This couldn't have gone any worse.
No, this is perfect.
Okay. Now, you might be wondering why I called you here today, Juhber.
I am. Are you wearing pants?
No. It's I get a bit more of a breeze this way. Sorry, sorry. I did not mean to punch you just then.
No, it's okay.
So yes, here is NSG Challenges.
Oh.
I am going around on the server challenging all the NSG members, well, as many as I can, really, and they can challenge me back whatever they want, and I've got to challenge them something. So would you be interested? Basically, you get some paper, you write the challenge.
This seems familiar.
Yes, it's a rip-off of Perma Challenges. So would you be interested in...
Yeah, I would be interested. This sounds like a lot of fun.
Be interested. So you get your paper, and you've already took your paper. I've already thought of my challenge. Okay, well, let me quickly cut to a thinking of the challenge I'm going to give to you montage. Perfect. Okay, what do I do? I put it in the... So you put it, hold on. You put it in, so not that one, put it in that one. This one's my dispenser, the one on the left. Okay, I put it in the left dropper. Yeah, okay. And then we stand on the count of 3, we'll step on it at the same time, and we'll see the challenge. So 3, 2, 1, go. Go end busting with me without dying. Oh no! What happens if I die? You lose the challenge, I guess. You didn't tell me what the consequences of not completing your challenge were. Oh, I should have thought about that beforehand. I'll go end busting with you. That means I can figure out how to actually use Elytra. Now you, my friend, you can't get caught, by the way, doing the challenge. You've got to be as secret as you can as well. Plant a jungle at every member's base. I didn't have space for an E. So when you say a jungle, to this end busting. Yeah, it should be jungle tree. Should be a good time. A jungle tree. Sort of. I thought I was planning a legitimate jungle, and I was like, this is going to take some time. Oh, that's actually perfect because I need to get a lot of jungle wood for the project I'm working on this week, so that'll work out. Well, I knew that anyway. So this has been NSG Challenges. Did you know that? Okay, now you're like just trying to straight up rip it off. By leaving. And I've trapped Juhber. Let's go. Oh my god. How do you do that? Do what? Then you can come out. Your head just like poked out. Oh, yeah. In order to fulfill my challenge from Gooner, I went in search of a jungle to get the saplings, and there should be one right here. Try number 2. Nope. All right, show me the money. Yes, I honestly looked up the chords for a jungle before I made the first portal. I just, A, can't do simple division, and B, can't read numbers, I guess? Obligatory gravel gathering. Surely he has some sort of joke he's gonna try to shoehorn in here. I needed to grab some light blue dye for the shell of the cactus farm I was making. I really need to upgrade this thing. I use it so much and the timing on it isn't even right. I immediately needed more sand to make more glass, more shenanigans with Minion, and the zombified piglin apocalypse. Obligatory basalt gathering. Can we call basalt gathering obligatory? And I know you can make a basalt generator, I just haven't needed it enough to justify making one yet. And now I'm using this thing to make cobblestone. Get your life together, Juhber. I think a lot of people would be surprised to find how much time it actually takes to craft all the materials and organize them for a project this big. Or maybe I'm just slow. I honestly only showed the collection of bulk items in this video. Most of the time I spent doing this was gathering the items that I only needed 1 or 2 of which there were many.
I am not ashamed to say that I raided an inactive member's base for some items. He did say that his stuff is fair game. And then, finally, I started building. I started with the farms I was planning on locating next to my bone farm. I started with a flower quad, which works by shooting a trio of dispensers at the double tall flower types. One of the reasons I decided to build away from my base was so I could just use random building styles and not ruin the theme of my base. On that note, I might actually redo the bone farm at some point in some other style. Then I built the cocoa farm, which is an incredibly low-tech farm and is probably going to be my biggest production bottleneck. I decided it would be cool to wait for the cocoa to all grow up for a time lapse. It wasn't cool. It took forever and I had about 1 billion pillagers attack me while I was waiting. After this, I began construction of the cactus farm, but I quickly realized that I had forgot a single item necessary for construction. You would not believe the trouble I went through for a single pickle. I just needed it for water stream alignment purposes, and I thought I could just find a warm ocean by flying around. That did not go well. This build actually took me a while to do, just because of the scale, and occasional mishaps. But I eventually got into a pretty good groove and was able to build for a few hours straight. Unfortunately, I was interrupted before I finished by an annoying thing called basic human needs, like the need to eat and sleep. The next day, I finished up the farm and did some minor cleanup around the farm and a creeper explosion. And now it's time to start building my shop. Now, I know some of you might be thinking that I forgot something, but we'll get to that later. First, I needed to prepare the land for my spooky shop. If you saw the thumbnail, you probably already know that this is a haunted house. And how would you get here without seeing the thumbnail? I guess it's possible. Anyway, I cleared out the trees and made a small hill to set my house atop. I am super happy with the way the exterior of this shop turned out. My goal was not just to make a haunted house, but to make one with a monochrome block palette. The concept here was that all the color is inside, so there's not any left for the outside. And as far as why I chose a haunted house, well, this is a shop to die for. Get it? To die for? Like, because it sells dye and... Anyways, at some point, I did some terraforming with long grass and the like. I don't know if I just didn't record it or what, but this was the result. I also tried to light up the area surrounding the shop without losing any of the aesthetics of the haunted house on the hill. I'm not sure that I like the result. If anyone has any better ideas of how to do this, please let me know. I think I've invented a new style of clothing. Whenever I come up with a build, I try to frame it from a certain perspective. This build is best viewed from this angle, so I tried to give it a backdrop of spruce trees to contrast better with the mountain that's in the background. The interior is a crazy color collage. I have to be completely honest and say it is at least a little inspired by Mumbo Jumbo's Season 5 base. While I wanted the outside to be monochrome and somber, I wanted the inside to be chaotic, colorful, and crazy. After I finished the interior, I did some more work on the landscaping surrounding the build. I'm having to get creative to get trees that are tall enough. And so, I was sitting here, feeling pretty happy with myself, getting ready to stock my shops, when I realized I still haven't made the Squid Farm. I really fudged the math on the sand for this project. I decided to build the Squid Farm at my base. This seemed like a great idea at the time. There are reasons it might not have been a great idea due to nether portal interference, but I'm just going to deal with that later. In order to make a squid farm, it is necessary to remove all of the river water within 128 blocks of your farm. I marked out this perimeter quickly, efficiently, and without distraction. I decided to use stone instead of sand to fill in the water because, please reference previous video, I have a lot of stone. I also realized that Steve is bad at holding his breath. Even with Respiration 3, I can hold my breath longer than a Minecraft character, and I'm not a free diver or anything. Filling in the river didn't take as long as I thought it would, but man, is my base not good for the environment. As is customary in Juhber culture, before building the farm, I dug a hole. This is a portal-based farm, which is why it was a bad idea to make it near my base. So I built some giant nether portals and then filled in the water required to push the squid spawning into the nether. And this is when I realized that I might have made a mistake. I made the nether side of the farm at a really low Y level so that it decreased the chances of it interfering with the other NSG members' portals. One of the things required for this farm was fully grown chickens in boats, and I could not find enough eggs to make this happen, so I had to go looking. And so I stacked up my chickens correctly after several attempts, and the farm was done. I did have to fix a part that I did wrong, but I did that off camera. After this, I filled a full shulker box minus one slot for the price with each colored dye. This took way longer than I predicted. Even with all of the farms already built, just crafting the dye takes a decent amount of time. And then, finally, I was able to fully stock my dye shop. This project was a lot of fun, and if you enjoyed it, you should leave a like on the video. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. And I hope that everyone has a great day, but this place is real spooky, so I gotta get out of here.